time, Will. I hope you're feeling limber, feeling fine. Yeah, it's not going to last, kid. We are on Module 7, Lesson 2, and if you're thinking, hey, it's Module 7, it's the end of the year, this is going to be the cream, the cake, the pie with the ice cream. This is some tricky stuff here. Be level with you, because what we're doing is, again, we're doing conversion tables. This time, though, we're going to really focus on capacity. And in the customary system, capacity will convince you that inventing the metric system was a very good idea. Okay, so this is actually the same objective we had for lesson 1. We're just focused on the capacity. We did length and weight last time in customary system. Let's do a little warm-up though. No pain to here. This is pretty straightforward. How many meters are in 1 kilometer? So remember that kilo prefix there means 1,000, so 1 kilometer, which we do pronounce kilometer, yes. 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. So that K means 1,000. All right, so 2 kilometers then would be 2,000 meters. 3 kilometers would be 3,000 meters. 7 kilometers would be 7,000 meters. What? My slides are out of order there. Somebody fix that. Okay, let's go to meters. So picture your meter stick. All right, great. And now how many centimeters are in that meter stick? 100, okay? And that centi means 100th, just like in 1 cent is 100th of a dollar. So 1 meter is 100 centimeters. Great. 8 meters then would be 800 centimeters. Ooh, jumping all over the place now. 1 yard, 3 feet. Remember that from last time. 1 yard is 3 feet. 2 yards, 6 feet. 3 yards, 9 feet. Just skip counting by threes here. 10 yards. We can do 10 times 3, 30 feet. Very good. Now how about 1 foot? Do you remember how many inches are in a foot? Yes, it is 12 inches in 1 foot. So 2 feet would be 24 inches. How about 3 feet? 36 inches, which is also equal to a yard. Okay. 1 liter is how many milliliters? So this milli here means a thousandth. Yes, thousandth. Okay, so 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. And notice it's always that capital L for liters, even when you have the abbreviation for milliliter. So 1,000 milliliters. So then 2 liters would be 2,000 milliliters, 3 liters, 3,000 milliliters. How about 6 liters? 6,000 milliliters. How about now we get right to the juice? All right, so that was just a quick warm-up there. No problem there. Well, that was metric with some customary system mixed in. We're going to start off with gallons to quarts, okay? So we all know what a gallon looks like. Picture a gallon of milk. And then a quart, I should go get one from the fridge. Like I buy my half and half for coffee in a quart. It's one that's about yay big. Okay, and there would be, when you go to your chart to fill it in there would be 4 quarts in a gallon. So if I wanted a gallon of half and half, which I wouldn't buy because it would go bad before I used it, I would have to buy 4 of those smaller quart containers, okay? So if 1 gallon is 4 quarts, 2 gallons is 8 quarts, 3 gallons is 12 quarts, 4 gallons is 16 quarts. What's the pattern? The rule? Right, it's like an input-output table, right? We're skip counting by fours here. 5 gallons is 20 quarts. 6 gallons, 24 quarts. 7 gallons, 28 quarts. 8 gallons, 32 quarts. 9 gallons, 36 quarts. And 10 gallons, a whopping 40 quarts. Okay, so then if you were asked how many quarts are in 13 gallons, all right, well look, we can just kind of cheat and use the table here and say, oh, well 10 is 40 and 3 gallons is 12, so 40 and 12 is 52. Or if you didn't have this table handy, you could say, well, I can do 13 times 4 and find it that way. Guess what that is? Same thing. Either way, it's 52. 13 gallons is 52 quarts. Got it? All right. So now, let's say we mix it up a bit and say, how many quarts then are in 18 gallons, 3 quarts? All right, well, a couple ways we can go about this. We can do 18 times 4. because there are 18 gallons times 4 quarts per gallon, and then add those 3 additional quarts. So 18 times 4, you can do 4 times 10 is 40, 4 times 8 is 32, add 40 and 32, you get 72, plus the 3, 75. So 18 gallons, 3 quarts is 75 quarts. Got it. All right. Now, that was kind of still the easier part. We're going to convert quarts to pints and relate pints to gallons. Before we do this, though, I have to spend a minute, and comments are disabled for this video, so you can't complain. La-di-da-di. The word is pint. It's very common, and don't feel bad if you do. I'm not making fun of you. I'm trying to help you out here. If you say pint, that's actually a perfectly normal way to read that word because you learn phonics and you sound out words because it doesn't work that way all the time. And the reason is because English is out to get you. English has something against you and wants to make life difficult for you. I'm serious. The word's pint. Pint. Okay, because think about it. It makes no sense. Flint, lint, hint, print, splint, sprint, and even the word tint all say I, right? And then, but it's pint with a long I. That's what that diacritical mark there means. It's a long I. So pint, well, that rhymes with nothing. Absolutely nothing. There are no common words anyway in the English language that rhyme with pint. Everything else that looks like pint is pronounced differently. That's why pint is so commonly messed up. And because, I'm kind of like a language guy, much more than I'm a math guy, I find this kind of fascinating that English is so much fun this way. It's fun to make fun of it, but it's also fascinating. Because watch this, okay. The word is bus, right? Is it bussy? No, it's busy, which rhymes with dizzy, which has an entirely different spelling. It should be bussy, but it's not. It's busy. It makes no sense. All right. Layer, sprayer, player, but the word is pronounced prayer. It rhymes with bear. Why? 'Cause. All right. Look at the word herd. It rhymes with bird, which has that RD, but different vowel. But it does not rhyme, however, with beard, which has the same spelling. Yeah. Makes no sense. English is out to get you. Yeah, what are these? We have bow, brow, cow, plow, pow, wow, but that word is pronounced low, which does have a lot of rhymes in English, words like crow, but also rhymes with dough, with this O-U-G-H. Yeah. However, it doesn't rhyme with rough or tough, even though that has a O-U-G-H. Like, no. It doesn't even rhyme with enough! Okay, back to math. We're going to convert quarts to pints and then relate pints to gallons. That's where it starts to get hard. This is where, if you check out mentally at all, you will be so confusicated. And I've had to sit down with my students for like 45-minute one-on-one time to unconfusicate them. So try to stay with me here. Then go over and do the overtime video where we get into this even more, okay? So the conversion factor here is easy. 1 quart contains 2 pints. That's like the smaller thing of half and half. In fact, the milks in your cafeteria are probably half pints. So you would need 2 of those to make a pint, just to give you an idea of how much liquid that is. These are all capacity again. So then we're going to be skip counting by 2s, right? The rule is add 2. So 2 quarts is 4 pints, 3 quarts is 6 pints, 4 quarts is 8 pints, 5 quarts is 10 pints, 6 quarts is 12 pints, 7 quarts is 14 pints, 8 quarts is 16 pints, 9 quarts is 18 pints, and of course 10 quarts is 20 pints. Okay, skip counting by 2. I know you're like, dude, you said this was going to be tricky. This is easy. Watch. All right, so now, how many pints are in 13 quarts, 1 pint? All right, actually, you can handle this, right? Yeah. We can use the table here and say, well, 10 quarts is 20 pints. 3 quarts is 6 pints, so 20 and 6, and then the one more, right? We could also do 13 times 2 plus 1, all right? So that would be 26 plus 1, 27. Either way you do it. Okay, no problem. 27 pints in 13 quarts, 1 pint. Now, how many quarts are in a gallon? You remember that from before? Okay, yes, there are 4. 4 quarts in a gallon. This is where it starts to mess with your head. So if you feel like your head's being messed with, that's because it is. All right. So how many pints then are in a gallon? So here's, I could draw you a picture, but here's 4 fingers. Those are the 4 quarts that make up a gallon, okay? Each of these fingers has 2 pints in it. Each quart has 2 pints. So 2, 4, 6, 8. So there are 8 pints in a gallon, okay? This is when you jump over a conversion factor, especially with these customary capacity, this is where it does get confusing. So stay with me here. 8 pints in a gallon. All right. Knowing then that there are 8 pints in a gallon, how many pints would be in 2 gallons, 3 quarts? Oh, okay. Conversion factor is 8, so it's going to be 2 times 8. And then those quarts, those are quarts though. So 3 quarts times 2 pints in a quart. So you see what's going on here? How it starts to get a little complicated because we're using 2 different conversion factors. We're saying 8 pints in a gallon, but 2 pints in a quart. Okay, then the math is straightforward, right? 2 times 8 is 16. 3 times 2 is 6. Put them together, you get 22. So that would tell us that there are 22 pints in 2 gallons, 3 quarts. Okay, now we just did that together. Something like that can get a little confusing when you're looking at it in isolation, when you look at it separate, or like you go to take some kind of standardized test and you get a question like that out of nowhere. So, but you can learn this. I've never had a student not learn this, even when it's difficult. You struggle through it.
But wait, there's more. Here we go.
Cups! Did I mention cups? I didn't mention cups. I thought I mentioned cups. Oh yeah, we're not even there yet. So there's gallons, quarts, pints, and now cups. God bless the metric system. Here we go. So 1 pint has 2 cups in it. So it's the same conversion factor of quarts to pints. All right. So again, we're going to be skip counting by 2. 2 pints is 4 cups. 3 pints is 6 cups. 4 pints is 8 cups. And by the way, I'm going through this because you probably have this chart in your practice sheet, right? So I'm doing it with you. 5 pints is 10 cups. 6 pints is 12 cups. 7 pints is 14 cups. 8 pints is 16 cups. 9 pints is 18 cups. 10 pints is 20 cups. Great. Now, so think about it. When you start now going, not just skipping over pints to gallons, but skipping over cups to quarts, or God forbid, cups to What do we know about the relationship between pints and quarts? Okay, so there were 2 pints in 1 quart, all right? So now how many cups are in 1 quart? It's actually going to be very similar to what we did before. So here's 2 pints. They make a quart. Each pint has 2 cups in it, 2, 4. So 4 cups makes 1 quart. See that? All right, so 4 cups equals 1 quart. So 4 cups equals 2 pints, which equals 1 quart. Okay, with me? All right. So now, if you were asked to solve for a number of cups in 3 quarts, 1 pint. I tell you, sometimes I even, don't go and ask your mother what this is. Like, don't, because like it's just embarrassing to us all. I get this stuff wrong sometimes, because it's like, wait, how many? It's confusing. It's not just you. So let's look at 3 quarts. Okay, look, 1 quart was 4 cups. So 3 quarts, our conversion factor is 4. So 3 times 4, okay, would be 12 cups in those 3 quarts. And then that pint, we'll look back over here at our table, that 1 pint has 2 cups in it. So we had 12 and 2 more is 14. Here's what it looks like mathematically. 1 quart is 4 cups, so 3 quart is 12 cups. 3 times 4 is 12. 1 pint is 2 cups. 12 and 2, 12 cups and 2 cups, total of 14 cups. And do notice the abbreviation for cup is that little c. Okay, see, so that's how that works. So grand total, 3 quarts, 1 pint equals 14 cups. Great. All right. So now, how many cups are in a gallon? Well, I mean, you could count how many are there down there in my little handy-dandy conversion table here. But you could say, oh, okay, well, look, we just did that. There were 4 in here in a quart, 4 cups in a quart. So a gallon would be 4, 8, 12, 16. 16 cups in a gallon, which it harkens back to what? Yeah, 16 ounces in a pound. Okay, just works out that way. I don't know why. So 16 cups in a gallon. So now we're going to do a two-step conversion. Okay, and this is where you hold on to the handlebars, and if you are totally confused, that's fine. You will get unconfused. Okay, this just takes a little bit of work. Brandon, having a party, made 5 gallons of iced tea. That'd be some party. For his party, how many cups of iced tea can he serve? Everybody's getting 1 measured cup, little cups. And he's got 5 gallons, so how many cups can he serve? All right. So basically we're saying how many cups are in 5 gallons. All right. So now, drawing for this helps to clear up confusion. So here's a gallon. We know it has 4 quarts in it. That's what the 4 sections are. And we just did that each quart contains 4 cups. Right? So the gallon contains 4, 8, 12, 16 cups. We just said that. I'm just reviewing. All right. So 4 times 4 cups, 16 cups in 1 gallon. But we have 5 gallons. So 5 times 16 cups is 80 cups. Okay, so this is why it's called a two-step conversion. We're going to do the 1, 2. All right. He can serve, Brandon, party monster, 80 cups. Great. Now when you get to the problem set, okay, we're looking at some redraw right here. Solve things about milk. 3 quarts of milk is how many pints? And you see, this is what I was saying, out of context, like when I'm walking you through it, it's a little bit easier. But fortunately, we did those charts together. Go back and use the charts, okay? 4 liters, and then it hops. I don't know why, because we really didn't cover anything with liters and milliliters besides in that little warm-up. However, if you reckon back to that, harken back rather to that warm-up, 4 liters, okay, 1 liter is 1,000 milliliters. So the math on that one is pretty straightforward. Same as we did in the last lesson, lesson 1, where you have an abbreviated form of the chart to fill out. The rule for converting gallons to quarts, it would be gallons times 4 quarts per gallon. That's how I have my students fill in that blank there. And then here, think, quarts times how many pints per quart, okay? So that's what you do there. And then you're just doing straight on mathematical conversions. And look, they do get tricky. Here you have gallons and quarts that you're rendering entirely in cups. And also, just to point out to you that you remember there's 16 cups in a gallon and you have 32 gallons. It means you're doing 32 times 16. I know that in 4th grade, generally that 2-digit times 2-digit multiplication can be tricky. Remember how to break that down. Maybe use the 4 partial products if the standard algorithm doesn't come to mind. And true, false, we had these in lesson 1 as well, but you basically have to do the conversions to find out if they're true, and then if they're false. It says, on this one it's different, it says make the statement true, so you can rewrite it any which way. Probably the easiest thing to do would be to change the greater than, less than, equal to symbol to make it true. All right, and then we have a couple more of these at the end here. And again, this hops back to liters and milliliters capacity. Then we have gallons, quarts. Then we have gallons, cups. This is very similar though. This is 9 gallons is how many cups. We just did one that 8 gallons was how many cups. So we just did one like that. Exit ticket, same thing, but shorter. Great. Bonnie's doctor. And now when you get to the homework, what do? Yes, head over please to my homework time video and we'll walk through every last little one of those together. And then finally you'll be able to say, Eureka! I'm done. Ha! That's why they call it that, you know. Long story. We'll skip it. We'll save it for some other time because we spent so much time studying the English language today. I had a wonderful time. I hope you did too. And so I will see you then next time. It is once again our lesson time.